A smartphone costs $400. It has a computer, a camera, a battery, and a touchscreen. A pair of glasses costs $600. It has 2 lenses and a frame. Something doesn't add up. Every year, millions of people walk into optical stores, receive a prescription, choose a frame, and leave after spending a surprisingly large amount of money. Most don't question it. After all, glasses are essential. If you can't see clearly, you need them. It's not like buying a luxury watch or a designer handbag. Glasses are a necessity, and that's exactly what makes this industry so fascinating. Because when people need something, they stop paying attention to price. They focus on solving the problem. And for decades, the eyewear industry has benefited from that reality. But here's the truth. The modern eyewear business isn't just about helping people see. It's about branding, psychology, fashion, market control, and one of the most profitable business models you probably never thought about. Today, we're uncovering the hidden truth behind the eyewear industry, the pricing tricks, the monopoly you've never heard of, the lens upgrades that cost pennies but sell for hundreds, and the shocking reality most people never stop to question. Once you see how this industry really works, you may never buy glasses the same way again. To understand how this happened, we need to go back in time. Long before eyeglasses became fashion accessories, they were simply tools. The earliest glasses were designed for one purpose and one purpose only: improving vision. Nobody cared what they looked like. Nobody wore them to make a statement. Nobody paid extra because of a famous logo. They were practical devices, simple and functional. But over time, something changed. Manufacturers realized that glasses sit directly on a person's face. Unlike shoes, watches, or handbags, glasses are impossible to ignore. People notice them immediately. And because people notice them immediately, they became powerful symbols of identity. Suddenly, glasses weren't just helping people see. They were helping people express who they were: sophisticated, professional, creative, stylish, successful. And once a product becomes part of someone's identity, pricing rules begin to change. Consumers stop evaluating it purely on functionality. They begin evaluating it emotionally. This is where branding enters the story. Imagine 2 nearly identical pairs of glasses sitting side by side. Both are made from similar materials. Both perform the same basic function. Both help you see clearly. The only major difference is the logo printed on the side. One carries a luxury fashion brand, the other doesn't. Most people would expect the designer version to cost more. But how much more? 10%? 20%? What about 5 times more? What about 10 times more? In many cases, that's exactly what happens. Because customers aren't simply paying for the frame. They're paying for what the brand represents. Luxury companies have mastered this principle across multiple industries: handbags, shoes, perfume, jewelry, watches, and eventually, eyeglasses. By the late 20th century, eyewear companies began partnering with major fashion brands. Designer labels appeared on frames everywhere. Suddenly, glasses became fashion accessories. Consumers embraced the change, and prices climbed fast. A pair of glasses that cost $50 in 1980 could cost $500 by 2010. Not because the product improved 10 times over, but because the branding did. The industry discovered something extremely important. People were willing to spend significantly more on products that made them feel better about themselves. And because glasses are worn every day, they became one of the most effective fashion accessories imaginable. But branding alone doesn't explain the entire story. To understand the real scale of the industry, we need to talk about something even more important: control. Most consumers assume they are shopping in a highly competitive market. You walk into a store, you see dozens of brands, different logos, different styles, different price points. Everything appears independent. But behind the scenes, the situation is far more interconnected than most people realize. Over the years, a small number of major players gained enormous influence within the eyewear industry. One company in particular became especially powerful: Luxottica. If you've never heard of this company, you're not alone. But you've almost certainly bought from them. Luxottica is the largest eyewear company in the world. They own or license some of the most recognizable brands in the industry: Ray-Ban, Oakley, Persol, Oliver Peoples, Vogue Eyewear, and they produce frames for dozens of luxury brands: Chanel, Prada, Burberry, Versace, Armani, Coach, Tiffany, the list goes on. But here's where it gets really interesting. Luxottica doesn't just make glasses. They also own retail stores: Sunglass Hut, Lens Crafters, Pearl Vision, Target Optical, and they even own optical insurance companies. Think about what that means. They control the manufacturing, they control the brands, they control the retail stores, and they control the insurance. This is what economists call vertical integration, one company controlling nearly every part of the supply chain. When that happens, competition becomes an illusion. You walk into a store thinking you're choosing between dozens of brands, but many of those brands are owned by the same company. You're not choosing between competitors, you're choosing between siblings. In 2018, Luxottica merged with Essilor, the world's largest lens manufacturer. The combined company, Essilor-Luxottica, is now worth over $90 billion. They sell more than 1 billion pairs of lenses every year, and they control roughly 30 to 40% of the global eyewear market. To put that in perspective, imagine one company owning 30% of every car sold on Earth, or 30% of every smartphone. That's the scale we're talking about. This realization shocked many people when they first learned about it, because it challenged a basic assumption. The assumption that more brands automatically mean more competition. Sometimes that's true, sometimes it isn't. And that's one reason the eyewear industry continues to attract attention from journalists, economists, and consumer advocates. But the frame is only half the story. If you think frames are where eyewear companies make most of their money, think again. The real profit machine often begins after you've already chosen your glasses. You've probably experienced it yourself. You select a frame, the price seems manageable. Then the salesperson starts asking questions. Would you like anti-reflective coating? Scratch-resistant coating, blue light protection, thinner lenses, transition lenses that darken in sunlight, premium progressive lenses? Suddenly the price starts climbing fast. A pair of glasses that initially seemed affordable can quickly become surprisingly expensive, and most customers don't know enough about lens technology to confidently evaluate every option. That's exactly what makes lenses such a powerful profit center. Because unlike frames, which customers can easily compare visually, lens technology is often invisible. You can't immediately see the difference between a standard lens and a premium lens. You have to trust what you're being told. And whenever customers depend heavily on expert recommendations, businesses gain significant influence over purchasing decisions. Now, to be fair, many lens upgrades provide genuine benefits. Anti-reflective coatings can reduce glare. High-index lenses can make strong prescriptions thinner and lighter. Photochromic lenses can automatically darken outdoors. These technologies are real. But here's what most customers don't realize. That anti-reflective coating costs the lab about $1.50 per pair. They'll charge you $50 to $100. That's a markup of up to 6,600%. Scratch-resistant coating costs about $1. They'll charge you $40. Blue light filtering costs about $2. They'll charge you $80. The average optical store makes far more profit from lenses than from frames. And because most customers don't understand the technology, they often say yes to multiple options. After all, this isn't a purchase most people make every week. For many customers, buying glasses feels unfamiliar, and unfamiliar situations create uncertainty. Uncertainty creates opportunity. Confused buyers tend to spend more. This principle exists in many industries: car dealerships, insurance, electronics, healthcare, and eyewear. The more complicated the product becomes, the harder it is for customers to compare value. And when comparison becomes difficult, pricing power increases. But lenses are only part of the story. Let's talk about something even more powerful: the psychology of necessity. Most luxury products face one major challenge. Consumers can simply choose not to buy them. You don't need a luxury watch. You don't need a designer handbag. You don't need premium sneakers. But many people genuinely need glasses. Without them, driving becomes difficult, reading becomes difficult, working becomes difficult, daily life becomes difficult. That changes everything. Because when a product solves an essential problem, customers become less sensitive to price. Economists call this inelastic demand. In simple terms, people continue buying the product even when prices increase. Imagine your vision becomes blurry tomorrow. You aren't likely to postpone glasses for years while searching for the absolute lowest price. You'll probably focus on fixing the problem, and that's completely understandable. Vision is too important. The eyewear industry benefits enormously from this reality. Large customer base, recurring purchases, medical necessity, fashion appeal, strong profit margins. It's a business dream. But then something unexpected happened. The internet arrived, and for the first time, traditional optical stores faced a serious challenge. Online eyewear companies began asking a simple question: what if glasses didn't need to be sold through expensive retail locations? What if customers could upload prescriptions, choose frames online, and receive glasses directly at home? At first, many people were skeptical. Buying glasses online seemed risky. How could you know if the frame would fit? How could you trust the quality? Would the prescription be accurate? But consumers quickly discovered something surprising. The prices were dramatically lower. In some cases, online glasses cost a fraction of what traditional stores charged. A pair that might cost $400 in a retail location could sometimes be purchased online for $60. Same prescription, same materials, same basic quality. Warby Parker, one of the most successful online eyewear brands, was founded on this idea. They offered glasses starting at $95. Traditional stores were charging 3, 4, or 5 times more. This revelation shocked consumers because it suggested something important. Traditional retail costs were playing a major role in pricing. Think about what physical stores require: prime retail locations, rent, utilities, staff salaries, inventory storage, marketing expenses, insurance, maintenance. All of those costs must eventually be paid by someone, and that someone is usually the customer. Online companies remove many of these expenses. As a result, they could compete aggressively on price. This forced the entire industry to respond. Consumers suddenly had more information, more transparency, more choices. And once consumers realize alternatives exist, markets begin to change. The internet didn't destroy the eyewear industry, but it did expose something many customers had never considered before: the difference between production costs and retail prices. This increased awareness sparked a broader conversation. Are expensive glasses actually better? The answer is more complicated than many people expect. Some premium glasses genuinely offer advantages: higher quality materials, stronger hinges, better durability, advanced lens technology, improved craftsmanship, enhanced quality control. Those improvements can absolutely justify higher prices. But here's where consumers sometimes get confused. A product being more expensive does not automatically mean it's proportionally better. A pair of glasses that costs 4 times more is not necessarily 4 times better. Sometimes you're paying for superior quality. Sometimes you're paying for branding. Sometimes you're paying for convenience. Sometimes you're paying for all three. Understanding which factor is driving the price is the key, and that's where many customers struggle, because companies rarely advertise how much of the price comes from branding versus functionality. Instead, they sell stories. Stories about craftsmanship, stories about heritage, stories about luxury, stories about exclusivity, and stories are incredibly effective. Human beings don't make purchasing decisions based purely on logic. We buy emotionally, then we justify those decisions rationally afterward. Eyewear companies understand this extremely well. A frame isn't presented as a collection of materials. It's presented as a lifestyle, a statement, a reflection of personality. That's why some consumers willingly pay hundreds of dollars for designer glasses even when cheaper alternatives exist. The purchase isn't just about seeing clearly. It's about feeling confident, and confidence is difficult to put a price on. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of the eyewear business is this: the industry sits at the intersection of healthcare and fashion. Most industries belong clearly to one category. Healthcare products solve medical problems. Fashion products express identity. Eyewear does both. And because it does both, companies can benefit from the pricing dynamics of each world simultaneously. Customers need the product, but they also want the product to look good. That's a remarkably powerful combination, and it helps explain why eyewear became a multi-billion-dollar industry. But here's the most surprising part: the customer base keeps growing. Every year, more people need vision correction, and modern life may be one of the biggest reasons why. Take a look around any coffee shop, airport, office, school, or home. Almost everyone is staring at a screen. Smartphones, laptops, tablets, televisions, digital displays are everywhere. The average person now spends hours every day focusing on objects just inches from their eyes. The number of people requiring vision correction has increased dramatically over recent decades. Nearsightedness, also known as myopia, is becoming increasingly common across many parts of the world. Some researchers even predict that within the coming decades, nearly half of the global population could be affected by myopia. That's billions of potential customers. Not because companies created the problem, but because changing lifestyles are creating growing demand for solutions. From a business perspective, it's difficult to imagine a more attractive market. So, is the eyewear industry a scam? The honest answer is no, at least not in the simple way many people imagine. There are certainly high markups. There are powerful brands. There are pricing strategies designed to maximize profits. And there are legitimate questions about market concentration and competition. But there are also real costs, real innovation, real craftsmanship, and real value. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. The biggest surprise isn't that glasses can be expensive. The biggest surprise is how effectively the industry convinced the world that vision correction and fashion should go hand in hand. That single idea transformed a medical necessity into a global lifestyle business worth tens of billions of dollars. But here's the good news. Knowledge is power. Understanding markups helps you make better decisions. Researching alternatives helps you avoid overpaying. Questioning premium upgrades helps you spend wisely. And once you learn how this industry really works, you'll never look at a pair of glasses the same way again. So the next time you hold a smartphone in one hand and a pair of glasses in the other, remember, One contains thousands of components and years of engineering. The other contains two lenses and a frame. And yet, which one costs more?